Hey guys, Double Wide 6. It's been a while since I made a video. We've had really cold weather in the Northeast, and I've been spending my time out snow plowing and clearing driveways. And since I don't work full-time out in my garage, it's not heated except on the weekends when I try and heat it up. And it's just been so cold that I haven't even been out here. So today's video, giving you a little update on the Mcculloch Chainsaw that had no spark. So I'm gonna make you a little video on that, and the saw's also having an oiler problem. It's not oiling, so we're gonna take a look at that today. So here's a look at the saw. It's a Mcculloch 839 made by Mcculloch. And if you saw the previous video, I had a coil on here that had low spark symptoms, and I tested it out with my new PET 4000, and we found that it had low spark. And in the meantime, I was able to find a coil on eBay, and I have that installed in the saw. I'll show you how it runs. But I had it running and I found out the oiler's not working. So we're gonna take a look and figure out what's up with the oiler. So I'm gonna start just by removing the bolts to open up the saw. The first thing I'm gonna do is remove the starter, and there's just 4 screws to do that. And then I'm going to go around and remove all the screws. You got to take off the handle to get off this casing, and we want to get in to where the chain oil is. When I looked down in here, I found the oiler filter and a broken line. So we're going to have to put a new line on there, and I checked this filter. It's clean. So I'm just going to reuse it. I actually soaked it in some carb cleaner, and it was pretty clean actually to begin with. So we're just going to put new hose on that, and we'll show you everything in the video. So here's a look in here at the saw. As you can see, I've dismantled it. Unfortunately, this is one of those saws that you gotta pretty much take everything apart to get in there to service anything, like the coil or the flywheel. This is the used coil I put in, and right here is the hose that goes into where the bar oil goes, and this hose is actually broken off. So all we're going to do is pull the hose out of here, unpop it from here, and basically run a new hose. I always like to take the old fuel line just to see how long it is, piece it together, and then we get our new fuel line. And we're going to be using our puller today to pull it through. So up here's a look at the tank. And what we're going to do is we'll take our puller, we're going to put it right through the hole, and we're going to slip that up until it pops out of the tank like that. We're going to take our fuel line that's cut on a bias, and we're going to put it through the puller. It's barely catching there because the garage is so cool that the fuel line is a bit stiff. I'm just going to squeeze that a little bit, and I'm going to rub a little bit of oil on the tip of this thing, and we'll slip that down there, and we'll see if that doesn't pull out the hole for us. I'm just going to take some needle nose pliers and give that a little pull. And we will snip the end off and hook it up to our pump inlet. So about right there. And just going to take a screwdriver here and try and widen this a little bit, because like I said, this stuff is really stiff. And we'll try and slip this guy right on here. Little wiggle, and it looks like we have that connected. We've had some nights here, and I'm in eastern Pennsylvania, and it's gotten down to like, well, I think about -5 was the lowest that we actually had, and that's pretty cold for this area. The schools in the area actually had late starts because of the cold, so it's been pretty cold here. I'm gonna have to wiggle this thing on. So it looks like we have that all back together. The oiler's down in there, went in pretty well. Here's the new coil I put on. I got it used off eBay, and there's actually a problem with this coil. It has spark, but the kill switch doesn't work. So there's actually a short, or an open circuit, I guess I should say, between the post and the laminations on the coil. I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so when you look at a coil, the kill wire is hooked up to this post here, and you should have continuity from that post to the laminations. And if you hear that on my meter, we have continuity. Now if we take a look up at the coil, which I bought, like I said, I got it used because I couldn't find a new one. And well, the new ones are pretty expensive. They're about 70 bucks, and to be honest with you, the saw really wasn't worth that. So I'm on the post there, and when I touch the laminations, we're not getting any continuity. So there's basically some sort of break between the post and the coil itself. So luckily for me, I tested the coil out. It has great spark, but it just doesn't kill. So by choking the engine, that's how I'll have to kill this saw. Okay guys, I got the saw all back together, and as I said, this is a Mcculloch 839. It had no spark. Now I know it has spark. I put in a coil, but the like I said, the kill switch doesn't work, so I'm just going to choke it to stop it. It's an 18-inch bar. To measure your bar length, you go right here from the base of the saw straight out, so it's 18 inches, and the chain on it's in pretty good shape. The bar on it still has I thought it had the original paint, but actually the bar really looks like it's in decent shape, so I don't think the saw was used too much. And you know, I'm kind of happy I got it going here. I like these Mcculloch saws. They're particularly tricky and finicky to work on, but if you get them tuned right and running, they seem to be a great saw that starts all the time on the first couple pulls. So I'm going to give this thing a start, and we'll see what we have, and we'll check if the oiler works. I just spent like the last half an hour heating the garage here, so I'm just going to run it a little bit because I don't want to go outside. It's like 8 degrees. There's a primer and a choke on this saw. Well, first pop. looks like a pretty good running saw, and I was running it for a little while there to check if the oiler was working, and just towards the end there it started oiling. So if you look down on the floor here where I had it, you can see the gloss of the oil. So we'll get that cleaned up and away from the stove, but that looks like a pretty good saw. So this thing looks like a pretty good little saw, and at the bottom of the video I'm going to put a link to the PET 4000. You can see a nice blue spark jumping 6 millimeters there. So we got real good spark. Unfortunately our kill switch isn't working, but I'm not really too worried about that. So check out the link at the bottom of the video if you want to get yourself a PET 4000. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in how the PET 4000 works, I have another video on my channel that you can search for that involves that tool. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.